In this section, we are going to see the introduction to various networking devices. In this section, we will see which networking devices we can use to interconnect the networks. The first network device is router. This is the front side of the router, and here Cisco router from the front side is presented. Its series is Cisco 1900. Actually, Cisco router is a layer 3 device and it is used in the network or internet layer. So sometimes it is also called layer 3 device. The basic function of a Cisco router is to connect the various networks. So if you have more than one network and if you want to connect the more than one network, then in that case we have to use the router. It is the backside of a router. So now we see what are the major components from the backside of a router is available. So first we start from the power supply. We have to provide the power supply to the router. Then we have one on-off switch. If you want to restart the router, then you can use this switch. Then we start from the Giga Ethernet port. The router can be connected with the other router through the Giga Ethernet port. You can also connect the router to the switch using the same port. So there are two ports available, the Giga Ethernet 0 and Giga Ethernet 1. So these two ports are used for router to router connection, or let's say router to switch connection, if the devices are physically nearer. Then you have here the USB ports. If you want to erase or modify the Cisco iOS image, so at that time you can use the USB port. Then we have next is a console port. If you want to connect the router through the PC in console port, then this is the port available. Okay, now next is the auxiliary port. Again, if we want to connect the router through PC, then we can also use the auxiliary port. Next is the additional serial ports. If we require the additional serial ports, then we can also install the additional serial port hardware to here, to this particular slot. So this is what the basic ports of a router